Be straight with me. Did you have an extra mask in your pocket at the beginning of this movie? What's up, YouTube? This is your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I am back with you today to give you my review of the 1989 film Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. I keep telling you to leave that kid alone. Doesn't work out well for you. Halloween 5 was written by Michael Jacobs, Dominique Othenin-Girard, and Shem Bitterman. It was directed by Dominique Othenin-Girard, starring Ellie Cornell, Donald Pleasance, Danielle Harris, and Don Shanks as the Shape. Shem Bitterman. I know you made that up.
You're afraid. You're afraid the whole thing might start to happen again.
I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him.
So Halloween 5 begins with clips from the ending of Halloween 4. Michael being shot about 400 times and falling down into an old abandoned mine shaft. This is where Halloween 5 picks up. Once he gets down to the bottom of that mine shaft, he starts to crawl out into a stream, and explosives go off. Clearly, these explosives were strong because they blew a whole new mask onto his face. So Michael gets into the stream and foots along like an old piece of scary driftwood, and he comes upon a shack. Inside of that shack is an old hermit who lives in this shack with his pet parrot. Polly wants some heating. So the old man thinks he hears something outside. He goes over and he opens the door. Once he opens the door, Michael gets ready to attack him, and he just collapses. So apparently it's customary that when you find somebody wielding a knife wearing a mask who tries to kill you and he passes out, you drag him inside, you take off his mask, and you take care of him for a year. Now we jump over to the Haddonfield Children's Clinic, where we have Jamie lying in bed having a nightmare. She wakes up and she's trying to scream, but apparently she's mute now and she can't scream. Nurse comes in, gets her to calm down. Jamie lays back down. Then we jump back over to the shack and we see Michael waking up. As Michael's waking up, Jamie is some sort of like psychologically or telepathically connected to Michael Myers now. And as Michael sits up and puts on his mask, Jamie reaches up and like mocks putting on a mask. She grabs a chalkboard and a piece of chalk and starts scribbling out, "He's coming to get me," or "He's coming for me," or something along those lines. Michael gets up, finds the hermit who has been looking after him for the last year, and stabs him. He kills the hermit. After he kills the hermit, Jamie goes into a fit. Apparently she stops breathing. Dr. Loomis comes in. Yeah, they're trying to cut open her throat to so that she can breathe again, or whatever that is. I'm not a medical student. A tracheotomy, whatever. They're trying to cut a pathway so that she can breathe again. Loomis comes in and says she's going to settle down. She's going to be just fine. Don't do anything at all. What's this old kook doing walking around this hospital anyway? Well, I guess he ain't too much of a kook. He was right. Jamie calms down and Loomis just starts to talk to her. At this point, I think everybody in Haddonfield has to be about ready to put Jamie and Dr. Loomis on a plane and fly them to the other side of the world. They gotta be tired of dealing with these two wackos by now. Old gloom and doom doctor walking around scaring the hell out of everybody. Little punk ass kid who doesn't do anything but scream, and now she can't scream, so she kinda screams. Get these two out of here. So what Jamie scribbled on that chalkboard is more or less the premise of this movie. There's not a whole lot more going on other than he's coming to get me. This movie, Michael Myers, is simply going to get Jamie, and that's it. So I guess there's a little bit more of a lead in that's sprinkled about for, a lead up to the next movie, but I don't need to talk about that here. All right, so first I'm going to get started with the things that I don't like about this movie, and there are a few of them. Right off the bat, I hate that I can't stand that Michael Myers' mask changes from film to film to film. In this movie, He's got a different mask on when the movie starts, and then he, basically in the same scene, has a different mask on. When he is shot and falls down into that mine shaft for the end of Halloween 4, he's wearing the mask that he had on all throughout Halloween 4. When he comes out of that mine shaft, he's got a different mask on. That completely drives me crazy. As a movie maker, I understand you want to switch the mask. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Figure out a better way to do that. Don't have a bomb go off and suddenly he's wearing a different mask. Or don't have him fall down a hole and make it almost seem as if he hit the ground and said, "Oh shit," and changed his mask before the bomb went off. That's just absolutely ridiculous, and I hate it. Another thing that I can't stand is the fact that all of a sudden Jamie is connected psychologically with Michael Myers. Why? If she's psychologically connected to him now, why hasn't she always been psychologically connected to him? That's one big point. One other big point is, why does she have to be psychologically connected to him? Wouldn't it be scarier if she wasn't and this dude just showed back up to kill her again? I think that would be more horrifying than her seeing it coming. It's absolutely ridiculous. Another thing I hate is that she can't talk all of a sudden. Why? I don't like that either. Have you ever been so scared that you lost your voice forever? It's just I can't stand it. I hate it. And to add to that, she can't talk. She's surrounded by nurses and doctors in a hospital, and the one kid that turns out to be like her translator is this little dude named Billy who stutters. It's just stupid. I can't stand it. I hate the fact that they did all that crap in this movie. One final thing that I'm going to touch on that I absolutely hated. There are two scenes in this movie where you see a pair of cops, they're partners. They are so dopey and ridiculous that they are accompanied by dopey and ridiculous music.
All clear.
Nothing above, nothing below.
Can't stand it. It almost makes a mockery of this film. Oh, and I almost forgot. There's one other scene in here where they're supposed to be at a masquerade party. Some dude goes running off to a shed with his girlfriend to try and get a little. That guy has on the exact same mask that Michael Myers has on throughout this movie. They must shop at the same place. Oh, I hate it. And now let's touch on the things that I actually did like about Halloween 5. First and foremost, Donald Pleasance. He's fantastic as Dr. Loomis. I think that he was great as Dr. Loomis in every movie that he was Dr. Loomis in. There were a total of 5 of them. Fantastic. He played... A lot of people complain that somebody plays the same character all the time. Well, in these 5 movies, he is the same character all the time. And he's very consistent. From 1 to 2 to 4 to 5 to 6, Donald Pleasance was fantastic as Dr. Loomis. Always has been, always will be. Well, then there's the look of Michael Myers in this movie. Yeah, I'll give you credit. He actually looked pretty good in this movie. I guess I'm glad that they had an extra mask laying for him, perfectly placed at the bottom of a vacant mine shaft for him to put on, because that mask was leaps and bounds better than the mask that he had on in Halloween 4. Then there's a laundry chute scene towards the end of this movie. Jamie's back to talking and screaming again like she did all the way through Halloween 4. But Michael is chasing her through the house, and she comes across a laundry chute. She gets in the laundry chute, she's going up and down, she's crawling up and down inside of this laundry chute, and Michael is chasing her. He's looking down at her, he's looking up at her, he's stabbing through the laundry chute. For me, that's one of the best scenes of this entire movie. It was truly scary. It was pretty good. And then remember earlier I mentioned there was something a little bit sprinkled in throughout the movie that was sort of the lead into Halloween 6. There's a mysterious dude that you see periodically throughout this film. You see just clips of his black boots. You see a full image of him head to toe in black. You just see him, like I said, sprinkled throughout the movie. He's referred to in the horror universe as the Man in Black, and he is truly the lead in to Halloween 6. He was pretty cool too. And then there's the ending. The ending of this movie, for me, is the best part of the movie easily. It is a perfect lead into Halloween 6. It's a perfect cliffhanger. I'm trying not to tell you what it was, But Danielle Harris's character, Jamie Lloyd, is alone, and she has a real good reason to be scared, and it leaves you with a complete sense of hopelessness. It's really, really cool. If they were able to capture that feeling throughout this entire movie, it would have been a much better film. All right, look, I actually do enjoy Halloween 5. This is one of the movies that I definitely do like. It's just when you go back and you rewatch some of these movies, there are things that stand out as being more annoying to you as they were when you watched them the first time, especially if you're preparing to do a movie review on them. That Jamie connecting with him telepathically or psychology or whatever, however the hell you want to put it, absolutely drives me nuts. The fact that she can't talk drives me nuts. The things that bothered me initially about this movie really, really bothered me this time around. And the things that I liked about this movie, here's the upside. The things that I liked about this movie, I really liked about this movie. I don't know if it's because of the extreme, I really disliked certain things, so that made me like what I did like even more. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that's, those are my feelings on that. It's very strange the way that, so far I haven't been, I knew what I was getting with 1 and 2 and 3. I've seen them a million times, but I've seen 4 or 5 a million times too. And it really is surprising how different my feelings for those 2 installments of this franchise are now that I've rewatched them with the reviewer mindset going on. And I can pretty much pin all of my disdain for these 2 movies on the character of Jamie Lloyd. I never realized how annoying that character actually was. Sorry, Danielle. And how the hell did I not talk about Tina? I didn't think she was all that bad. And that's it. That's my review, and those are my feelings on Halloween 5. Leave me some comments down below and let me know if you think this movie aged well. How did you feel about all that telepathic crap and psychological connection that Jamie had with Michael Myers? I'm very curious to see what you think about that. Leave me some comments down below and let's talk about it. I'm going to get out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you have been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching. Later, folks. See you next time, pal.